This video will take you through how to create the Dreams Come True Unisex Robe by Crafts Create Change. Once your pattern pieces are cut out, we will start by making our pockets. Finish the edges using a serger or zigzag stitch and fold the edges in by a 1/4 inch towards the wrong side and press. When pressing, make sure to leave the top free to be folded next. Now fold the top edge by 1 inch towards the wrong side and press. Then fold again by 1 inch, press, and then top stitch that folded edge. Do this for both pocket pieces. Next, we will lay the front pieces facing up. Use the pocket placement guide on the front pattern piece and place the pockets facing up. Top stitch all around the 3 edges of the pocket. Repeat this step for the other pocket. Now that your pockets are sewn onto the front pieces, we're going to match our back pieces with right sides together and sew. Make sure to note where your shoulder seams are as well as where your neckline is, because that will be how you determine where the center back line is for you to stitch. Now we will match the front and back pieces with right sides together and align the shoulders. Stitch along the shoulder seam. Next, we will work on our sleeves. Match the sleeves with right sides together and stitch along the straight edge opposite the slanted edge. Repeat for the other sleeve. Open the sleeves and match them with the front and back pieces. Match the seam on the sleeves with the shoulder seams, with right sides together and stitch. Now take your belt loops and fold them in half lengthwise and stitch. Turn the loops right side out and place them on the sides of the front pieces and pin. I pin by folding the ends under and then I will top stitch. As you saw me measure, I placed my belt loops 7.5 inches up from the pockets. Now we will sew our side seams by matching the sleeves and the sides of the front and back pieces with right sides together, and then we will stitch. Now we will hem the robe. If you're using thinner fabric, you can fold the bottom of the edges of the robe by a 1/2 inch towards the wrong side and press and then fold again by 1/2 inch and stitch. But because my fabric is so thick, I will overcast my raw edges and then fold them up by 1 inch. Pin along the entire hem and then top stitch. Now do the same for both sleeves. Now take your collar pieces and match them with short edges together with right sides together and stitch. Then fold the collar in half lengthwise with the wrong sides together. Match the back seam with the collar seam, right sides together. When you get to the hemline, fold the short ends up into the fold of the collar and pin, and then sew along the entire collar. Once the collar is sewn, fold the seam allowance of the collar in towards the wrong side and then top stitch to keep the collar flat. Now take your belt pieces and with right sides together, sew the short edges. Then fold the belt in half lengthwise with right sides together and then stitch. Turn the belt right side out and tuck the short ends into the belt and then top stitch to close the edges. Feed the belt through the belt loops and your robe is complete. And this is how your dreams come true unisex robe should look.